All right, guys, I think I'm live. This is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and the upcoming crash is going to be a global crash. And here are some of the things that I'm going to be doing to make sure that I come up on the top end side. All right, so let's dive in and talk about why do I think it's going to be a global crash, and why do I think that this upcoming crash is going to be one of these crashes where the middle class, people like me and you, are going to get robbed out of our riches, just like the 2006, just like back in the days when they seized gold and took the common man's wealth. Okay, and who's going to take it? The central bankers, guys. Okay, they're going to take your wealth and everyone else's wealth, through real estate, through stocks. Okay, and so on and so on. Now, there's major bubbles all over the world. We can go from Canada, Australia. We can go look in America. We can go and look so many other countries. Okay, from London to Great Britain, Spain, etc. You can just go on and on. Okay, um, and there's bubbles in multiple sectors. Okay, where we have real estate bubble, we have stock bubble, we have major debt bubble from residential to commercial. Okay, and the same symptoms, the same disease, those things that I just packaged up, or the same exact box. Okay, the same exact tool that the central bankers have applied through all these nations. Okay, from, like I said, Australia, Canada, America, etc. Um, and one example is the real estate bubble. I don't know if you guys remember the 2006 fourth quarter, 2007, 2008. Well, really, as we got robbed out of our wealth. I met so many great homeowners that were doctors, lawyers, that worked for the city, they were teachers, and they had put down 10 grand, 5,000, whatever, down payment on a house. And they didn't understand numbers, some of them that good, and they were able to borrow money through ARMs, adjustable mortgage. Other people understood the numbers a little bit better, but they still got more money in in debt to buy a house because of the appraisals and the way the property values were going up and up, and everybody thought that it's just going to always go up versus that it can come down, etc. And when the crash happened, all the average people that work, that have went to college, that did the right thing, now they're upside down in their homes. Okay, their homes would have negative equity. Now, in some country states like California was a lot more than, let's say, for example, in Texas. But even in Texas, you could see in 2006, 2007, the market had crashed significantly, 15%. Which is a lot because the values didn't go up as much. But this time, this crash is going to happen. The same exact thing is going to happen, but all over the world. You're going to have Australia, Canada, Japan. I mean, so on and so on. Guys, are a lot of the Euro countries are already in debt significantly, and we have already seen a collapse with a couple of the small countries, like Greek and etc., where people ran to the banks and they couldn't even take any of their own money out. If you don't believe me, just go on YouTube and YouTube it, and look at for yourself where there was lines and etc. So in this next crash, it's going to be a global crash, and it's going to be harder, in my opinion, than the 2006 crash or the dot-com bubble, etc., because it's what's called the long-term side. If you eat bad food, right, the immediate side effect may take 5, 6, 7 years, where you start getting bloated, and you start having high blood pressure and etc. But the major side effect, right, having a heart attack or getting diabetes or getting cancer, will take longer than the short term. Okay, so you're going to have the short term side effect and the long term side effect. And for example, the 2006, 2007, 2008 crash was almost like a big one, but it was like one of those heart attacks that you had, and you went to the hospital and they cleared, or they did a triple bypass, etc. But on this next one that's coming, it's going to be very hard to control because all these other countries are going to be having the same exact disease, the same exact symptoms, because the disease was created through central banking, fractional reserve, getting people into debt, creating bubbles, because the feds can only like decrease or increase the interest rate, or they could print out money. Like, okay, so, and they've done that to bail us out in the last time. And me and you bailed out all these big corporations like banks, um, car companies, all these companies. And for example, I brought you guys um, video about how some of these big companies on my YouTube channel or my blog are now, or for example, Ford. They announced that they're gonna stop making cars in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. But go to my YouTube channel and check it out. I did a video about this. So these big companies that we're bailing out, like GMC, etc., they're gonna stop making cars because they weren't competitive, in the market. There's other companies like Nissan, and they're making better product. And because me and you bailed them out because they're too big to fail, sometime down the line, the same thing is exactly happening. They're losing. They're being creative. They're not creating. They just want to sell you, me, and you the next product, the next level, and it's not very good. Okay, and the fair market has made them go down, right? And for us to artificially bail them out, or artificially save them, it doesn't do anything, because now we're coming to the major, what I call the long side effect of this economy. Okay, we had the short side effects, which is the booms and busts that go like this. But when we're gonna have the major one, like where you abuse your body so long that not only you gain weight, but eventually you're gonna have a heart attack, or eventually you're gonna have cancer, or eventually you're gonna have etc. And that's gonna be hard because you're not the only one. Imagine that you were eating, but then you subscribe the same eating to everyone else, everyone you knew, and then everyone they knew subscribed to everyone else, and now the whole world is eating shitty. And when they're all going to get sick at the same time, there's not going to be people to help you out, because everyone's going to be down, from big companies to medium companies to small companies to governments. Okay, um, and if you guys don't know about what's happening with the BRICS countries, how they're trying to dethrone the petrodollar. Okay, if you guys don't know what's going on with Bitcoins, where people around the world are somehow realizing that, hey, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are powerful, um, and they're putting their money into it. And if you're not understanding that the crash is coming, okay, then you're going to be in big trouble. I just did a video about you guys that the bankers are giving everyone home equity loans, or they're giving everyone's, say, hey, your house has some equity. Okay, well, you want to borrow against it, and people are taking that money and they're going buying more rentals or more real estate at an inflated price, which causes more inflation and less supplies, because money. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't forecast that, hey, it's going to melt down in 3 weeks or 1 week. No, no one knows. If you're east, right, and no one can tell you when you're going to have a heart attack. But we can tell you, dude, this is the symptoms. And, you're going to have hard time breathing. You may have be dizzy, this, and and you see it. But no one has the exact date that you're going to have a heart attack in this specific date. No one knows, right? But we say, hey, you have symptoms of having a heart attack, okay? And if you don't take care of this situation, it's going to happen. But instead of just one person, it's going to be all over people all over the world, which everyone's tied into the economy. Because if you look in your refrigerator, your bread is coming from a different country, your rice is coming from a different country, your yogurt is coming from a different country, your shoes is coming from a different country, your shirt is coming from a different country. Everything's pretty much united, right? I mean, if you're using an iPad, it's coming from a different country. If you have a car, it's probably been coming from a different country, even if it's like Ford, right? So you got to understand all that. And when the things flops over and all these countries are under economic stress and they have significant debt, there's nothing but bad news for its citizens, because we're going to have less money. Okay, and at the same time, there can be civil unrest. And what that means is that, civil unrest, man, countries can go to war, people in their own countries can have crazy, like Venezuela is a great example of what civil unrest looks like, guys. And um, and what's it's pretty scary. Now, a lot of people have asked me, "Hey, Mike, what are you gonna do, or should I do?" I'm not a financial expert. I'm just a refugee, guys, so I can't tell you what to do. But what I'm gonna do is that in the next crash that's coming, I'm gonna buy a lot of real estate, seller financing or owner financing, where I don't have to use my money. I don't have to go to a bank to get a loan or use my credit or anything like that. What I'm gonna do is just use the seller's underlying debt and just take over their payments. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be. Here's the thing. For right now, they can be first time homeowners, normal homeowners, what I call civilians versus commercial side. Okay, they're all buying, investing, and interest rate, as you guys know, the Feds, I brought it down as all time low. Now it's going up slowly. Okay, which is causing this crazy things to happen. Okay, the meltdown to happen sooner. Either way, it's going to happen. Um, Now, but interest rates is all time low. If you look at, like, for example, a 30-year mortgage today versus a 2006 mortgage, those mortgages were like anywhere from like 8, 7 to like 11%. Today, people are getting interest rates on 30-year mortgages or 15-year mortgages for so much less. So there's going to be a flood of inventory that all these homes are going to be upside down, right? And since they're going to be upside down, I'm going to use multiple strategies to inquire some of them. Majority of them, I'm just going to take over their payments, okay? Because in that homeowner's mind, they have no equity. When they turn on the news, they're going to say, oh, everything's on fire. When they read the newspaper, everything's on fire. No one's talking about how great it is. Credit is going to be sucking out. Everyone's line of credit or credit card balances or home equity loans was going to get dried up, and people are not going to have money. And the heat's going to be on, guys. So a lot of homeowners, civilians, first-time homeowners, etc., or even investors, they're going to be upside down. Builders are going to be upside down. Everyone's going to be upside down, and everything's going to seize up. Okay, and it's going to create a great opportunity for me to go buy houses because interest rates are so low, which means that the mortgage payment that our homeowner is making to their lender is extremely low. Now, here's what's going to be happening as people start defaulting, as people start moving out of their homes, right? Guess what? Rentals are going to go up. If you look at rents today versus 2006, I don't care if you're in Colorado, you know rent's gone up. In the next crash, the rents are going to go up too, guys, because, but the very least, they're going to go up because the Fed's going to do EQ. They're going to be printing money, and by default, printing money is going to make cost of goods services go up by itself. So not anything else, just by the Feds printing money. And they always do that in a crash. They print money, guys. Okay. So there's going to be abundance of real estate, abundance of motivated sellers. Sellers are not going to be able to sell because buyers are not going to be able to get a loan. Many people that buy properties don't have loans. Even the investors are using home equity loans, hardly any of their money. So that means that they don't have the ability to create, relying on credit or cash. So the people that know how to create, to produce, to increase their productivity, to use their imagination, or it's going to be a home run for them. And there's going to be a lot of properties with low interest rates, beautiful homes, right, with low interest rates, and the rental is going to be high. The demand for rental is going to be high. The rent property is going to go high, and people are just going to be selling their homes, just walking away from it, and using other strategies like short sales. And why do I know? Because if you look at 2006, 2007, 2008, that's exactly the time I went in real estate. I didn't know anything about real estate, nothing. You know, and I learned about it, and there was so many motivated sellers there that people were offering me money to just take over their payments. I mean, there were situations where I could got 5,000, 15,000 from sellers that care about their line of credit because they're credit worthy and they didn't want to lose that. They had great jobs and they didn't want this house. Maybe they had a job relocation and they couldn't sell it. They hire a real estate agent, put it on the market. They couldn't sell it. And so they were like, hey, I'll give you money If you could just make the payments, because I don't live in this state, I don't know what to do with it. I'm not a professional. I'm an accidental landlord. And there's all kinds of going. For example, divorce rate will increase in the crash. Why do I say that, guys? Because once people start losing their jobs, or their jobs get less pay, or once they start losing their 401s or their life savings, then more tension will be created at the home, guys. There's going to be more tension. People are going to blame everyone else in that family, and they're going to get divorces. Now, both people have less money. They can't afford these homes. And if you know how to do what I call seller financing, all right, or other strategies like short sales and things like that that I teach at Mr. No Fluff. Um, if you're interested, get in the Abundance Club to learn stuff like that, or get some of my courses. We talk about it. But simply put, there's going to be absolutely abundance of rental properties that are beautifully home that don't need any repairs, and you can just take over their payments. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make cash flow for 500, 300, even more per property. Or I could turn around and get these properties and then turn around and create notes and be the bank and sell it to some business owner that can't get a loan, but he has $40,000 down, or 100 down, or 30 down, or 20 down, and sell it to them. Because just because the economy goes down doesn't mean that everything ceases. There are going to be people that are going to, when the economy goes down, they're going to increase their wealth exponentially. These are the people that look around and create businesses, and they're going to boom in those businesses because the market is down. Now, majority of people are going to be coming down. There's going to be selected people that are going to be getting really wealthy. For example, myself, I'm going to make majority of my money in the next crash, guys. When the crash comes, Mike's going to be working a lot, and I'm going to be working with my family, right? I'm not going to be just be working like before I did. I didn't get hang. We all hang out. Like my family's right there. We're riding bikes. They're right there. I'm right here, and we're at the park on a Monday riding bikes. Okay, because if you understand these strategies, then on the next come up, you're going to create a lot of wealth for yourself. Now, it's not going to be easy, or something like you pop a pill and you lose weight. There's nothing like that. It's going to be, you have to increase your brain, you have to increase your muscles, you have to increase your heart, your ability, and you have to be able to, with drought. There's a drought doesn't mean you can't harvest, but you got to be able to know how to transform, because life is all about change, guys. Change. And if you're not willing to change, then you're going to get washed out, and that's the great thing about life, because it's never ever stable, and we want it to be stable, but it's not like that. Okay, so the next crash would be a great opportunity to buy houses, short sales, but majorly seller financing, guys. Okay, it's going to be hard to do fix and flips. I'm not saying they're not going to be out there, but it's going to be hard to do fix and flips because money's going to be dry. And people are going to be scared. There's going to be less investors. There's going to be less buyers. And everyone that invested with all this fake money, with what I call fake money, easy money, cheesy money, credit, you're going to hurt, dude. And just remember what I just said. You're going to hurt because you weren't able to invest in you. You're the most powerful thing on the planet, guys. It's not your iPad or your iPhone. You are the most powerful thing. You created everything you want. And if you understand not to go with the herd, not to do what the people say, and to think for yourself, then you're going to be very, very successful, no matter if it's like this, if it's like this, if it's like this. And that's why one of the reasons I was able to let go everything I ever owned. I worked 15, 20 years, started with $100, had multiple rental properties, multiple businesses, made multiple thousands of dollars, and I give it all up. Just didn't even sell it. Just give it to homeless people, because I understand the ability of change, and I'm not scared of it. And I understand the ability of the power of me. And that's what I try to teach you, because if I have all this stuff, I can sit here and say, hey, do this. And you guys, or some of you guys, like, oh, Mike's BSing. But if I can give it all up and do it again, right, then I can be a leader for you guys. I can lead with my action versus what I've already accomplished. And I think that's the most important thing, that right now I sleep on an air mattress. Hey, dude, and I'm letting you guys know what I'm going to do. When the future comes, watch me buy all these houses, guys. And it's the greatest opportunity, because I don't need a bank. I don't need no credit. I hardly need any money. There's going to be people that are going to give me money to take over their payments. Right? There's going to be people out there that just have beautiful homes. They're not even behind in payments, but for whatever reason, they got divorced because the economy crashed and they were having financial problems, or for whatever reason, they got job transfer. For whatever reason, something happened and they don't want to make the payments anymore. Or they think their home's negative equity. And I don't care, as long as the cash flows, I don't mind that it has negative equity. So I'll just rent it out, get the positive cash flow, build my equity because the renter's going to be paying the debt. I'm going to get all the tax benefits, okay, tax deduction. And when it's time, I'll sell at another time, like when the market is hot right now, when everyone's buying home, there's tons of home equity. Now, so many people have asked me, "Hey, Mike, do you have any information on how to do seller financing? Okay, like how do you negotiate this stuff? Okay, how do you find these people? What do you tell them, dude? How do you give them an offer for owner financing? Because that's the hardest thing. Everyone and their mama knows how to give offers for cash because that's easy, dude. It's like you take 100%, it's $100. You do it times 60 minus repairs. If you're a wholesaler, then you do minus your assignment fee, and that's the offer, the maximum offer you give to a seller. Okay, but with owner financing, it's like real life, guys. You have to be flexible. You can't be rigid like that cash equation. And with flexibility, and if you're flexible, you can make deals happen. I don't have a problem buying a house that's worth 100 for 120 or even 150, guys. Now, of course, I want to buy it for 40, 50. But if the deal comes that way and I can structure where it's a win for the seller and it's a win for me, I want to do it because I am flexible, guys. I'm flexible. It doesn't matter. I could turn any situation into a winning situation because I increased my productivity. I've never borrowed money from a credit card to do a deal or start a business, never borrowed money from a bank. I use my imagination. And that's why I try to teach you guys that you're the most powerful thing. Now, a lot of people have asked me, do you have a course that teaches you how to do something? Because that's a deal I just brought to you guys, that's 50% off, or you can get it via seller financing. They want to know how to do that now and in the upcoming crash because they see the opportunity of that. They understand that the banks are going to take away their credit. They're going to take their credit cards, a line of credit, money's going to dry up, and they understand there's going to be abundance of inventory because there's motivated sellers because the news told them their homes has negative equity, and they understand that there's going to be a crash. Maybe they disagree with me. It's going to be a local crash or global crash or some parts, but they understand there's going to be massive inventory. And yes, if you're interested in a seller financing course, just leave a comment or any kind of questions you guys have. I'm here for you guys. I'm only here to help you guys out. But some people have asked me that I'm thinking about making a product for you guys that talks about seller financing and how to find the deals, how to negotiate it, how to structure it, what you should do once you have it, how to insure it. I want to share with you the things that I have done, how to put deals on the contract for $1, guys. Every deal that I ever bought myself, I only give the seller $1 to tie it up, dude, for escrow, for option, whatever you want to call it, right? Just $1. Okay. And I show you how to do all that stuff. And I show you how to find the leads, how to filter the leads, how to massage it in, how to follow up with the sellers. Because the fact is that when people do seller financing, this is not their best option. This is their best worst option, guys. Okay. It's not their best option. It's their best worst option because no one wants to sell their home at a deep discount. No one. No one wants to sell their home via owner financing where they have to leave their social security in line for you to take over. No one wants to do that, guys. No one. Like no one is willing to work 20 years, build success, and then let it go. No one do stuff, right? And they sell it. But it's your ability to explain to them. It's your ability to understand the psychological aspect of departing with their home. Is your ability to be able to separate their problem from their ego is very, very important. And and I'm going to show you all that stuff in my course, guys. So if you guys are interested, leave a comment. And like always, everyone that is willing to believe in themselves and believe into me and willing to leap, right? You're going to get the best price before it goes up to the regular price, guys. Okay. So stay tuned. If you guys have any questions about seller financing, ask away. I love seller financing. I do 90% of my deals, or if not 80% of my deals in seller financing. And I love it. Doesn't mean that I don't love buying deep discount. I love buying deep discount. If you just saw, guys, I have a deal 50% off. Every other wholesaler in the world that I see right now, they're bringing you deals at tax roll or a little bit more than tax roll. Okay. I love deep discount. But again, if I don't have to use any of my money, I don't have to go to a bank, I'll take seller financing over cash. Now, I love cash deals too, right? I love both. but I would prefer to buy deep discounted properties. But hey, if I spend money in advertisement, I put my energy up, I did all this right things, and the lead is there, and they're not willing to sell it, or they don't have enough equity to sell. Well, shit, I'm gonna be flexible, dude. I'm not gonna be rigid. I'm gonna try to create a win-win situation for the seller and try to create wins for me. I'm not greedy. Just a little bit, dude, is all I care about. Just a little from a bunch of people is all I care about versus trying to make one big killing. Does that make sense? And it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna hit home runs or you're not going to hit home runs if you're very giving and you're not greedy. It just means that, hey, you're here to help people and you make a little money and the rest will take care of you. Sometimes home run, right? Trying to make run. I don't have the pressure on me, just whatever. I just want to help that seller, dude. That's all I care about. If I help that seller, I make no money. I'm still happy, dude. Now, do I feel a little sad because I didn't make any money? Yes. But that sadness, that pain is going to help me to make sure I do the right things better next time. Right? That sadness, that pain is going to help me learn from my mistakes. It's going to improve me. Like I need that fire to melt the impurities out of me, dude. Right? Does that make sense, guys? And that's if you fail or things are hard, you need that filterization for the better you to come out, dude. Does that make sense? Anyways, guys, if you have any questions about subject twos, wraps, uh, master leases, sandwiches, anything, just leave a comment. I'm just here for you guys. I let go of my 3 companies because my what I want to do is to help you be your dreams in America. That was the reason I was born, and that's why I'm here, dude. Not to chase money. Now, money will come. I mean, you guys don't want me to beg for money from you guys, and so I have a way to make a living, right? But I let go of my fortunes of making living to come help you guys because I understand that chasing a piece of paper, right? Like, let me show you. Like, this has no value. I realize that I have to pay my food and groceries and stuff like that with this, but this has no value, dude. It's just a piece of paper that we put our mind into, like, hey, this is a lot of money or this is a lot of money. But it's just a piece of paper. Do I need this to transact in the world? Yes. But this doesn't control me. I never worked for this, dude. I've never worked for this, man. I have students, I tell them I don't work for money. They're like, well, why do you charge? And then they do things wrong and I give all their money back to them because I never worked for money, dude. I'm here to change your life. This is a piece of paper, dude. I learned this 2 years ago. I let everything I had go, live in my car for 19 months, dude. Right? Uh, because I realized this is just paper, dude. Hustle and bustle, guys. Don't take no for an answer. Peace.